Hi everyone, it's me, Trish from Pink Poodle Jewelry Studio. Today we're going to be making a fun necklace with these beautiful autumn leaves buttons from Dress It Up. If I can get the glare off of it. With those gorgeous, and we're also going to be using some beautiful beads, some fairy silk, a variety of things. And I'm going to teach you how to patina paint buttons to transform them for any project that you'd like to use. Here is the necklace that we're going to be making. I think it's super fun, guys. This is the leaves with the patina paint. We're going to be doing a lot of dangles and fairy silk. Just a really fun project.
Okay guys, so let's get started here. I'm going to start by showing you all the parts and pieces you're going to need. Here is Root Beer Float Mix by Jesse James Beads. You could use any mix. Some smaller chain that we're going to cut in pieces. And then we're going to pick up the larger chain here. This is going to be for the main structure of the necklace. Some 22 gauge wire, that's German style by Beadalon, 2 boho beads and a clasp, some fairy silk. I have 2 different colors here to work with, which are super beautiful. Some different colors of patina paints that go with the buttons you're using, some jump rings, and the beautiful Dress It Up autumn leaves buttons that we're going to be painting and putting into our piece. So here I'm just showing you, this is one of the buttons that I've already painted and I've already wrapped the back of it, which I'll be showing you how to do that as well. So basically you're just going to need a brush, paper towel, a little bit of water, and your patina paint. So here I'm just going to be putting about a drop of each color that I want to use onto my paint palette. I just get these cheap paint palettes from the Dollar Tree, but you could just use any old plastic lid or anything like that that you have. So now I'm just going to dip into the first color, and what I do is I usually start with the matching color of the button first, so something that coordinates well. And I work my way around the edges. I start by blending into the edges there. And basically this whole concept of patina painting in general, but especially on buttons, is building layers. As you build layers, you're going to build interest and your buttons will look more realistic, I guess. And see, I'm going in with a darker color. This is our carnelian color. And the same thing, just going around the edges, starting the whole process. And I did introduce some green and some brown paint into this as well from the 3 that you did see at the beginning there. I like to be able to incorporate multiple colors. And it seems like the brown for the leaf middle and for the stem really makes it pop. And the green just gives it still just that little bit of springtime look to it. Just peeking through. And to get the best look, my opinion is that you should always dab when you're applying the main patina. Now here I'm using a fine tip brush, and I just dipped into the brown because I'm going to be doing some fine detail. I'm going to do the lines in the middle of the leaf just to give some definition. And then I'll also be painting the stem. And there I'm painting the stem of the leaf there. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to get my big brush out and I'm going to layer some more color on now that I have that brown in the middle. I kind of want to blend everything into the middle area just to give it a more natural look, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of dipping in the different colors and just kind of fading it in. And you can see here, this is the finished product. Here is the second button that I decided to paint, and this is going to be sped up for you, but it's the same concepts. Okay guys, so now we're going to start with our wire. We're going to do the wrap on the back that's going to enable us to attach that to the chain. And this is just our 22 gauge wire. I'm just warming in my hands a little bit, and here I'm showing you what we're going to be doing. And I've just put that wire through the shank of the button. And the first thing I do is I crisscross those wires and just get it as tight as I can on that shank, of course without breaking it. Then I'm just going to give it a couple twists just to kind of get it started. And you're going to want to have one of the wires pointing up straight, because that's going to be the one you make your loop out of, and then the other one is going to be your wrapping wire. So what you want to do is you just want to wrap around the shank of the button multiple times, keeping everything nice and snug. And just keeping it so when you get it up to the top, you can wrap the two wires together then. So now you're going to see I'm going to do a twist with those two wires just to kind of get everything tightened down there. A couple twists. And then I'm going to divide them, one horizontal and one vertical. So I can then, and I'm just tightening with my tweezer pliers. We're going to be doing that multiple times, pushing down on it with your pliers and squeezing it to tighten it around the shank. Okay, so now I'm twisting my wires, just wrapping the wire around the base of the vertical wire, the horizontal wire around it. And I snipped it, and I'm just pushing that burr down. And I'm just snugging everything up. And there I go. I'm going to do my horizontal wire there, and then put in my round nose pliers and go up and over, then change positions and bring it across, and then I'll bring my chain nose pliers in, just checking everything out here. I brought my tweezer pliers in, and then I'm going to wrap around that wire to secure it as a wrap loop. And once you do that, once you get everything wrapped where you want it, you're going to come in with your trimmers again and snip and press down the burr. And then I'm just going to, again, snug it down, tighten it up a little bit, and there I'm showing you what the final result is for that. And that gives us loops on our buttons so we can hook them onto our chain. So now we're getting into where we're going to be making our beaded dangles. And I'm just showing you a few here. I've already done some ahead of time. But these are just basic, simple loops. And basically I'm just putting on my beads, and then I'm going to bend the wire in an L shape, snip it where I want it to the length I want, there, and then just roll with my round nose pliers into a loop, and there you have your loop to be able to attach to your chain. And just same process here. Okay, now that we have our loops made, I am going to be doing the same thing with my boho bead there, and I did 4 of those cream colored dangles. Can you see those beautiful teardrop beads down there? I made 4 of those to hang directly from the main chain, and then I'm going to put the boho beads on either end. So I'm just showing you here, it's the same concept with the boho beads as well. And now we're getting our chain out. And now I've cut these pieces. The large chain is in a 6-inch piece, the main chain at the top. And then for the smaller chain that you're going to use, you're going to need 1 that is 3 inches, 2 at 2 inches, and 2 at 1.5 inches. And you can put your chains in whatever order you like. I just like the look where the two shorter ones are in beside the long one in the middle. And here I'm just auditioning my leaves to see how they're going to look. And now I'm just getting out some 6mm jump rings. We're going to need a lot of those, guys. And I'm just going to open one of those up. And don't forget, when you're opening, you're going to want to go back to front. You never want to open side to side on a jump ring or you will ruin it. And I'm just putting the leaf onto the chain, just to kind of get my look put together here. And keep in mind, guys, when you're opening your jump rings, always open them front to back. You never want to open them side to side or will distort your jump ring. And we're just continuing adding the leaves to the small chain. So now guys, I'm going to attach the smaller chain to the larger chain. Looking back on this, I wish that I would have waited to do this until I had the dangles on all of the small chains. That would have been the smart thing to do. So do as I say, not as I do, because it will make your life a lot easier if you can just take each individual chain and just put the dangles on those before you attach them to the main chain. So now I've got them all attached. All the leaves are attached, and now I'm going to add on my boho beads. The same way, just using a jump ring. That's how all of the dangles will be attached, will be by using the 6mm jump rings. And there's your bohos. And I just put on the teardrop beads as well. And now I'm just kind of auditioning beads, where I want them on the chain, just to try to get an idea. And now I'm going to start attaching. I have kind of an idea, but as I said, again guys, do this on your chains before you attach them to that main piece. Okay guys, so we have all the dangles on there, and I'm going to be getting out, there's our clasp, our sari silk that I cut at 12 inches, and the ribbon end, some jump rings of course. And here's a photo. I ended up tea dyeing the fairy silk. I just thought the other colors were a bit bright, and this is what it looks like after it's tea dyed. But I ended up doing a cup of water, boiled it in the microwave, added 6 tea bags once it's steeped to remove them, and then just dyed for maybe 10 minutes, rinse, and let dry. And here you can see I just squeezed on the ribbon clamp end. Just use my chain nose pliers to do that. So I'm getting my 22 gauge wire out. I'm cutting about a 12-inch piece of that. And we're going to proceed to attach the fairy silk to the chain. Okay, so I'm just going to get these ends up by each other, and I want to just trim them so they're evened out. And then I'm going to take those two ends once I get that last string off. And I'm going to put them through the last link, the one the boho bead's hanging from. And we're just going to put those two ends through, and we're going to fold them back slightly. I guess I did about an inch or so there. And then I'm going to take my 22 gauge wire and lay it across, hold on to it with my thumb, and proceed to wrap the wire around the layers of fairy silk that I have made there. And you just want to keep this nice and snug as you're wrapping. You can see a little bit fiddly at first, but once you kind of get the first and second wrap, you are pretty much good to go after that. It's just kind of getting everything started that can be a little difficult. And again, keeping everything nice and snug is going to make this work out for you. You don't want to do it loosely or your necklace will fall apart. And I'm just kind of straightening everything out here with my tweezer pliers, getting it where I want it. And then I'm just going to trim the wires off with my wire trimmers, flush cutters. And then I'm just going to push those burrs down on the ends of the wires there. Now keep in mind, guys, we do have that ribbon crimp on the other end, so finishing the other side is going to be pretty simple. And we're going to get out our clasp and our jump rings. Just kind of looking at our work there. There's our jump rings. We're only going to need a couple of those. Again, those are 6 millimeters. And again, just open your jump rings front to back, guys. And hook on your... I like to put the bar on the bottom half of the necklace and the loop on the top, only because it seems like it hangs nicer that way, and it just feels more secure to me. And here I'm just linking that clasp together. And that makes it's an 18-inch necklace when it's all said and done. And that will enable someone to put it, unhook the clasp and be able to put it on their neck without too much trouble. So guys, that is it. That is our necklace with our patina painted beautiful leaf buttons. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one, guys.